Hey, tired, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite albums. Yeah, I have new hair, and also I've been trying to take some time out to film a review, like a movie review or an album review of some sorts, in the last couple of days, but I just can't because I keep being busy doing something else. In fact, today I am busy again. So I decided to wake up earlier at 7:30 a.m. just so that I can film this thing. But yeah, here I am, I guess. Today I'm going to be quickly talking about a new Eminem album, The Death of Slim Shady, Coup De Grâce. It's not Coup De Gras. It's Coup De Grâce. Okay? Okay? Okay. So this is the 12th album from legendary rapper Eminem, and speaking of the number 12, I remember when I was 12 years old, I was a humongous Eminem fan. Eminem was on my rotation when I was like 12 or 13 years old. Eminem was the shit at that point. And let me just go over Eminem's discography just real quick. After Infinite, the album, which didn't go well, Eminem shot up to fame with the release of the Slim Shady LP back in 1999, which I thought was okay, but for its time, it's definitely revolutionary because of its wacky humor, because of its flows, its very cartoonish beats. It's definitely a very interesting rap album. And then afterwards, Eminem released a couple of albums that I thought are amazing, like Marshall Mathers LP and my personal favorite, The Eminem Show. According to Rate Your Music, Eminem has never released any great albums, but trust me, these two albums are really freaking good, and I still like them to this day, even though some songs definitely didn't age well, because I'm 21 right now, and 9 years after I learned about Eminem's music, some of them turn out to not sound that great after all. But everything went downhill from there on out. We have Encore and Relapse, where Eminem corners himself in this really dumb, offensive, mean persona, and the music he makes is just wackier after another. And then in the year 2010, he uh, pivots to pop rap with the album Recovery, but that somehow made everything even worse because now his music is tacky, cheesy, and incredibly bad. The hooks are bad. But surprisingly, we have the release of Marshall Mathers LP2, which not a lot of people enjoyed, but I am in the minority to think that this is the first good Eminem album since Eminem's Show. For some reason, Eminem lit a fire under his ass, and he was able to make some pretty impressive pop rap music that pretty much broke out of his comfort zone. But immediately after that, Eminem plummeted to basically the low point of his entire career with Revival, which is just a joke, and Kamikaze and Music to Be Murdered By. The two albums that follow up are slightly improved, but that doesn't stop Eminem from rapping with this angry staccato flow. I am very angry, and also very basic beats and very bad dad jokes. And for some reason, it's been 4 years since his last album, Music to Be Murdered By, which is surprising because I thought Music to Be Murdered By's released a couple of years ago. Turns out it's already been 4 whole years. That's crazy. So, anyways, we have a new album here, The Death of Slim Shady, and it's of course an album about the death of this Slim Shady character that he played. Except it's not really a character; it's more like just an exaggeration of himself. All his all the shitty things he's done, drug addiction, being mean to people, being mean to women, exaggerated 10 times. There you go, Slim Shady. It's actually really interesting to see him revamp a 25-year-old character. Not that Slim Shady is 25 years old. I'm saying Slim Shady LP came out in 1999. And it's really interesting because it's 2024 now, and he's trying to be offensive while trying to not be canceled at the same time. So in most of the tracks on this album, Eminem has to tiptoe around controversial topics and try to be mean, but also not too mean, which results in a lot of awkward in-betweens on this album. But also the beats and the flows on this album are mostly same. A lot of the tracks here have literally the same beats, same moody piano, same slow, almost boom bap beat, and pretty basic, modern Eminem, I guess. Basic contemporary Eminem, while trying to pretend to be old school Eminem. Some tracks do work, especially the tracks where Eminem goes back to his old flow, which sounds immaculately better than the flow he has now. But still, a lot of the tracks have modern production, trap beats that make it feel like they're made now, and thus lose their charm. But it's just a little bit frustrating to see that instead of developing in new directions, Eminem keeps making sequels. Revival is a re-sequel after Relapse and Recovery. Marshall Mathers LP 2 is a sequel, and now this is also a sequel, essentially. But anyways, I'm just going to speed through every track here because I'm getting late. Renaissance, here's Eminem spitting in the beginning, so that's cool. We have moody pianos, basic sequence beat. Eminem returns with all cylinders fired, and it is a glorious return to the old school flow that he's known for, which sounds really nice. But most tracks on the album just don't work, like Habits, where the flow gets really awkward and staccato again, and there's a trap beat which makes the track feel kind of modern and updated. Brand New Dance, I'm really annoyed by this track. I hate this track. It's silly and it's annoying, and I get it, that's the point, but it sounds so ugly and garish to me. We got some old school flow from him, and he also pokes fun at Christopher Reeves for the entirety of the track, which is funny, but it would be funny if it's like I don't know, if it's like the early 2000s or something. Or maybe it's too soon, I don't know. Evil is a track about the dark side of his personality. The hook is absolutely terrible. We also have several skits on the album, like All You Got, but I feel like if you're gonna revamp the Slim Shady character, it would be nice to see Paul's skit again. Lucifer sees Eminem trying really hard to be offensive, while not actually being that offensive. The beat is genuinely not bad though. It's simple, but it works. Antichrist sees Eminem having a bit of good fun, rapping about his balls over a pretty okay beat. I like the little beat change at the end. And Fuel features JID, and JID's feature is excellent on the album. In fact, I think JID outraps Eminem. Road Rage is just an annoying track, especially with the transphobe bars. But then again, it's like he's trying to be offensive, but it's also not that offensive. The beat is also very minimal for some reason. Houdini is a lead-up single to the album, and it's purposefully annoying and tacky, and again, I don't like it. I don't like how it sounds. But thankfully, Guilty Conscience 2 is easily the best song on the album. It's a sequel to the original song off of Slim Shady LP, where he raps against Dr. Dre, or more like Dr. Dre raps against Slim Shady, like an angel rapping against the devil. But this time it's him rapping against himself, Eminem rapping against Slim Shady, and it's narratively the most interesting track. He also shoots and kills Slim Shady at the end, which would be a pretty cool ending to the album, but for some reason there's more after his death, so I guess this is like the deluxe version of the album, except it's not. So we have Head Honcho, which is another pretty basic track. Temporary is an epic melodramatic rap song with sad strings, and Skylar Grey returns with this flaily, breathy vocal feature like it's Recovery or something. The track Bad One is about offending people and using Slim Shady as an excuse to say mean things, which is weird because isn't that why Slim Shady died? Because Slim Shady embodied all the mean things Eminem would usually say, but then suddenly we have this track where Eminem admits to using Slim Shady as an excuse. Like, okay. Toby featuring Big Sean and Babytron is an okay track. I'm not that blown away by it or anything, but there are some lines here about drama and beefing, which makes it even more confusing about whether Eminem is done with Slim Shady or is he still gonna be Slim Shady. And then finally, the album ends off with Somebody Save Me, which is the big conclusion to the album. The chorus feels like it came straight from a totally different pop song in classic Eminem fashion. And also, he apologizes to everyone in his life, including Haley, his daughter. And it's super melodramatic, and it's super unlike Slim Shady, which is kind of weird for an album about Slim Shady. So yeah, genuinely, some of the tracks here are not bad, but overall, this is nothing but another helping of contemporary Eminem. This time around, he cosplays as older Eminem, but doesn't take the contemporary out of the contemporary, I guess, which is not really necessarily a great thing because once again we are hit with angry staccato flows, basic beats, and dad jokes, and unfortunately they just don't work on me all that well. I'm giving the new Eminem album a strong 4 out of 10. So have you listened to the new Eminem album? Comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.